I'm Halsey. It's a trap.
You're listening to Viva Fan Life. Hey guys, welcome to Viva Fan Life, a fan-based show where we can all embrace our inner fandom nerd. Coming to you from a galaxy far, far away, I'm Mary Alexander. In a few moments, we're going to take a trip through the time vortex to meet a very special guest. My sources tell me the Doctor was sighted in small-town Farmville, Virginia. Our favorite bow-tie-wearing Time Lord is teaching English at Longwood University under the alias Dr. Sean Barry. He primarily teaches British literature and poetry classes at Longwood. I'm sure he's a very busy man, but let's pop by his office now and see if he has a few minutes. Setting a course for Longwood University. We've landed in Granger Hall, home of the English and Modern Languages Department. Let's see if the Doctor is in. Looks like it's locked. This should do the trick. Ah, here we go. Hi, Dr. Barry. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thanks.
So we'll launch right into this. How often are Doctor Who references thrown your way?
Maybe once or twice a week.
Is it usually the students or the faculty who get the biggest kick out of your resemblance to Matt Smith?
The students, though some of my colleagues are also amused by that resemblance.
Would you actually consider yourself a Whovian?
I'm a fan of Doctor Who, although I will confess that I prefer Tom Baker.
What got you started with dressing the part, and what's your story and inspiration on that?
I have to confess that I wasn't trying to dress like Matt Smith. I was trying to dress like a professor that I had when I was an undergrad. His name was Jack Willis, and he taught at William & Mary. And he was an English professor who studied James Joyce and Virginia Woolf, and he happened to wear bow ties.
Bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. That was not a catchphrase when Jack Willis was wearing bow ties, but he was a really wonderful mentor, and when I did my honors defense as a senior, I asked him to show me how to tie a bow tie. And yeah, I started wearing them semi-regularly, and when he passed away, it seemed to me like a way of remembering him on a regular basis. And it's really more or less a coincidence that the showrunner of Doctor Who decided that Matt Smith needed to wear a bow tie. But you know, it's also kind of fun.
Wow, that's really deep. I mean, it really kind of, I guess, provides insight to your professional life. And speaking of that, how does your reputation as the 11th Doctor affect your position as a professor here?
Well, I think that, you know, one of the things that is sort of useful about that resemblance is that there is something about studying the literature of the past that is not totally dissimilar to the kind of pleasures that Doctor Who experiences in his travels. It's as true of the TARDIS as it is of books, that they're bigger on the inside. I think that if I can convince students to climb inside the time machine that is a literary work, then that's pretty awesome.
So do you ever incorporate anything Doctor Who related in the classroom?
On occasion, I have been known to say when we are falling behind on the syllabus that things have gotten timey-wimey and we'll need to make some adjustments.
How do the students take that?
Well, usually there are at least a few who find it amusing.
Are there any other fandoms that you enjoy besides Doctor Who?
I grew up as a Star Trek watcher. I definitely was a big fan of The Next Generation as a kid. It is possible that my childhood bedroom still has some Star Wars posters in it. My folks have left those up in order to remind me that I was a hopeless nerd, and probably still am.
Well, the Force will be with you, always.
That is true, and I think actually that some of the sagest teaching advice that I've ever gotten has been from Yoda. I regularly tell students that they should do or do not. There is no try.
I do have one more question for you. I really have to know. Do you have a fob watch?
I decline to answer that question.
So you could very well be the Doctor. Well, I'll be honest, I'm one of the many students guilty of throwing Doctor Who references at you, but you seem to be a really good sport about it. Thank you so much for your time. It was really a pleasure talking to you.
It was a pleasure talking to you too.
Thank you. And if you do happen across a fob watch and get your memories back as a Time Lord, feel free to start a study abroad program with other planets. I'm sure this campus could use a lot of off-world culture.
I'll be sure to do that.
Well, I'm afraid time's up for this episode of Viva Fan Life. Thanks for tuning in, and feel free to follow me on Twitter at Fandom Nerd for Life. That's Fandom Nerd, 4, Life. For more fandom fun, check out my blog at storify.com/VivaFanLife, and tune in next time for more of your favorite fandoms. Until next time, live long and prosper.